No, but yeah, it's just I always had this level of confidence in me, like arrogance, you can say it was, obnoxiousness or whatever the fuck, but it was there, and it did me a level of satisfaction, as in I never was unconfident. I never felt anything wrong with me until this very day, opening that mirror and seeing that I looked like this. Like, what the fuck happened? And a whole lifetime of everything my parents and my mom said came to me, like when my eye was out to here, and just like remembering comments, and then like it all made sense why I was treated a certain way. I didn't realize I was treated different. No matter, I was treated different. Thought everybody was treated like, different. And I never realized that when people called me ugly, they meant it. It wasn't a joke. It was a descriptive term. And it hurt. It all hurt. It was the most lonely feeling in the world, because I didn't know what to do. I did not know who to talk to. I didn't know what to do. And I talked to one person. I've never spoke of this moment before now. I've never spoke of this discovery. I've never thought I've had to. I've been ashamed to talk about that. Like, even after discovering that, like, even like growing up, even after I come out with everything else that I do to be open and vulnerable, I never even think of the importance of how I thought of it, or how I first saw it or identified, but it is, because that moment was a deciding factor and could have been a crossroad in anybody's life. I mean, there's some kids that would have taken their life. Can't say I didn't think about it. What the fuck? But I'm gonna tell you, there's one person I talked to, and I had to talk to somebody because it was immediate. I'm gonna take a sip, hold on. Mouth is getting dry. But there was one person I talked to, and it was my cousin's girlfriend. I had an older cousin that lived with us, my aunt's son, and he was in his early 20s, and he had a girlfriend that I loved to death. She was in her early 20s too, and she was my road dog. We did everything. You know what I'm saying? Because she was my access to. She had a car, so we can go places. She always had a little money, so we can go eat and buy shit, and she kind of gave into a delinquent habits. You know what I'm saying? She get us liquor and shit, and I'm like I said, 13, 14 years old. Not even 14 yet. I think I last seen her maybe when I was 13. Maybe 14 was my last time seeing her. But for those span of like me living with them, because I known her all my life up until, for a long time up until then. But her like living there with us and us being so close, I told her, like, Didi, what the fuck? You see me? Like, what the fuck? Like, my shit's bashed in. Like, what the fuck? At 13 years old, and I'm crying as I'm saying this. Now, mind you, I didn't take this calmly. I had not near mature bone in my body. Every bone that I thought was mature just crumbled when I saw that shit, just crying. And she, that's what I'm saying. She was the only person that ever got the satisfaction, or I ain't gonna say satisfaction, but it could have been, the experience of this nigga didn't know he was ugly. You know what I'm saying? Like, and now everybody gets that satisfaction. How y'all feel after listening to that is probably how she felt back then. Like, this motherfucker didn't know and I didn't see it. I did not see it. And I think this can be symbolic for a lot of people who just don't see their flaws, who just don't see them. Oblivious, and how being oblivious to a flaw can affect your behavior. And it didn't affect my behavior in a positive way all the way. It was positive that I was confident, but it also made me an asshole. It made me obnoxious. Why? Not because I wasn't ugly, because I thought wasn't shit wrong with me. Because I couldn't see shit wrong with me. And I think some people walk around with that arrogance because they don't see shit wrong with them because it ain't something you can see with your eyes. But for me, my problem was right there on my fucking face and I couldn't hide it, and I was devastated. Devastated. It was like being diagnosed with cancer that day. And it was crazy. And it was fucking crazy to me. And I bawled to Dee Dee. And I love her. She was so supportive. She's just, and I wish she could see. Geraldine, that was her real name. She old now. Like, you like 50? 50 something now? But anyway, Geraldine, I love you, dude. I swear, man, because you were there when I went through, I think, every devastating moment after that just compares to that. You know, and I don't think about that every day. I don't think about that moment, but every time I'm devastated, like that's my first feeling of devastation that I couldn't fix, I couldn't change, I couldn't do nothing about it. Every other problem is like, oh, I can move, I can leave, I can beat him up, I can do anything. Like when it was my mother's boyfriend beating my ass and just hurting me. Like nigga would wake me up to kick my ass. I got to the point where I'd call the police. Like, okay, I don't have to do, cause you know, I don't know about all kids, but when I got my ass beat, I thought maybe somebody should do something. You know, like, hold on, like, okay, there's another grown-ass man hitting me. And, you know, my cousins, uncles, nobody came save the day. So it took a minute for me to call the police to realize wasn't nobody gonna come save me. And that my mama damn sure wasn't. And that's sad. That led to a resentment issue. Still has an issue. Still love my mother to pieces. And I say I forgive her because I do whatever I can for her, but I don't even really know what forgiveness is because it's not like I forgot it. And I don't know if I'm really forgiving, but I am because I love her to pieces. I'll do anything, but it still hurts me and it still fucks with me and I still get angry over it. So I don't know if that's real, if that's what forgiveness looks like, because I think I'm forgiving her. But as angry as I get, I know there's still resentment. Maybe they can coexist. Can resentment and forgiveness coexist? I don't know. But we're going to unpack it and figure it out, because what I wanted to go through is like that, bring us back to the ugly truth. Me discovering that at 13 was a very ugly truth. The most like I said, there was zits that probably somebody somewhere took even worse than I did that day about my face looking like this. So I'm not here to compare, but I am here to relate. And not just relate to you, because I want y'all to relate to me. Because I know I do a lot of incredible shit that some people think is just easy. And I mean simple shit, like being married and or working or having clients, like just simple shit like that. Shit gets real different sometimes. And people don't always see that you're dealing with things while dealing with things. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. Meaning, like the challenges you see me handling and knocking out and solving and acting on are only half the challenges I'm going through. And I'm saying that to say to any of you that the challenges I see you going through are only half the challenges I know you're going through. Half, if not more, are up here. Like I said, there's so many people out there going through shit and you just can't see it on them. You can't see them with their disability on their face. They're not wearing a sign. They're not in a special chair. They're not using a crutch or a device or an oxygen tank. You just can't see what's wrong with them. But it doesn't mean something's not there. And that might be you. Like I said, if you feel like everything's perfect, then I hope that you do. And not that I want anything devastating to be wrong with you. But I'm saying if something's wrong with life, there must be something devastating you're not dealing with. And I'm doing this all for therapy. Because me talking to somebody is the only way sometimes I move through it. But my problem is I don't talk to people. I'm just not, I get advice. I let people talk to me. I'm a great listener. You know, but talking ain't really my thing. You know, I mean, I got to probably hit the joint to talk. Just freely and carelessly, all fucking mindlessly and what they call it, small talk and shit. Yeah, I got to be high, to be honest with you. To be shooting the fucking breeze for no damn reason. Meaning not to say anything like special about me not wanting to fuck with people, but it's just my nature. It's not how I get down. So it's not something that I'm able to do and practice when it is helpful to me. So when I'm going through things, I don't just run out and start talking to people. I have a few select folks, or there's some people in my network. I tell certain people in my network certain shit that I wouldn't tell nobody else, only because I think they have an expertise in it. I don't tell anybody anything that I think they can't do shit about. So I hold a lot of my problems to myself because I think so many people can't do shit about my shit. Or I'll do this, create an episode on it, speak on it, work it through, articulate it. I'm able to see it better. It's like when you put something out on your desk, when you dump out your backpack and put it all out, like you see everything that you have. I do this to see everything I'm working with while sharing it with you. And then together we can see what we're working with. So how can we help each other? You know what I'm saying? Because that's when the input that I'm willing to accept. When I put all of my stuff out there, and then I get feedback, I get calls, I get letters, I get messages, I get inbox, I get DMs saying, "Oh, I appreciate that, or I appreciate this, or I listen to that and this and that," and that's the feedback I use. What helped you? What you got out of it? That continues to help me. So it's like I help these people. They're telling me they've been helped, and that helps me. It's that confirmation, because I do this for a lot of confirmation. Like I said, I think I'm successful to a certain degree for a reason, and I know there's value in that. But everywhere I fall short, I leave room to grow. And that's where my audience comes in. That's where my mentors come in. That's where my clients come in. That's where the kids out there doing shit that I invest in come in. Like just seeing young people out there. I had a client the other day, just yesterday, I gave him his order, but he ordered $500 worth of shit, custom shit. I don't know about you, but that impresses me. When I see young people investing in their business, I never spent $500 of shit in high school on anything but maybe some weed to sell. I only bought work in high school. I only bought work for years after high school. If I wanted to make any money, I bought work. I didn't buy materials and start making shit. I didn't. I should have. I caught on. I eventually started doing that. And then I took advantage of being creative and all that, but that's not how it started. That wasn't where my mind was at. I wanted to sell products that were jumping off the fucking shelf, and weed and drugs did that. But had I known about t-shirts, had I known about apparel, had I known how to design my creativity or my images or my imagination onto something that people could wear, oh my God, I would have never played with any of that stuff. But that's neither here nor there. The point is that at some point, I had to see who I was. And though that broke me all the way the fuck down, what I built on top of that was a real solid foundation. Had I never saw that, then somebody could bring that moment to me at any point in my life. It just happened to be at 13 years old by myself. I went through that devastating moment. But somebody can let the air out your ass in your 40s, in your 30s, at any status in your life. You can be having the time of your life with all the money in the world, and somebody just let the air out your ass with a secret or with something you were ashamed of in your past. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to live like that. You have to go through that to build on top of that, because what you build on top of that can't crumble. Somebody can crumble your whole fucking empire. If you build your shit on a lie and somebody exposed the lie, everything you built can come down. The money you made, you might get sued, all kind of shit. But when you face those truths early, everything you build on that is solid and real, and can't nobody bring that up to destroy you. It doesn't mean it won't hurt no more. It doesn't mean my feelings don't hurt. I still have to understand and figure out why people treat me certain ways. Whether I show it or not, and I usually don't. You won't never think people have an effect on me the way I move. But you also never know what I'm thinking about and how I'm assessing people to assess me, or how I'm judging people that judge me. You don't think I get falsely judged by the way I look? Some people determine my value and just never heard me speak, never heard me say nothing. Like, oh, this motherfucker's ugly. Turn the channel. How many relationships? I love my wife, but how many relationships that I've been cheated out of that I could have been happy with had somebody loved me enough to please me? You know what I'm saying? And maybe they only love people they find attractive. Like, that's free love. Like, I think people that get love that are just how they look, like, oh my God, that's like free love. And then not even have to act a certain way. Oh my God. Like, I can be so much meaner if I look so much better. And some people already think I'm mean as fuck. So that should tell you, I do love me. And the whole lesson in all this, I'm sorry it's been 45 minutes later, and I know there's a bunch of fucking lessons in there, so I know whoever tapped out early or couldn't hang, then found something good and then had a chance to work with that. But the end of it, for me, like for this whole show, for this lesson, is you gotta love yourself. And if you look at it, that's like the acronym of ugly. You gotta love yourself. I don't care what I go through. I don't care who says they love me. I don't care what people say they want to do for me, how they want to. If I don't love myself, this can all come crashing down. Still to this day, as secure as I am, as well as I think I can move and fix things and solve problems, it's just like, if I don't love myself, this can all still come crashing down. If you don't love yourself, everything else can just come crashing down. You can destroy everything about you and everyone close to you if you don't love yourself. You have to love yourself. You gotta love yourself. So think of that the next time you think of being ugly. Ugly. You gotta love yourself. I'm gonna leave you with that because I don't want you to forget that shit. I love all of y'all. And I just wanted to share that moment or those bunch of moments with you just to let you know that I'm coming from a different place when I'm trying to help people. I'm trying to be nice here. I'm trying to be calm. You know what I'm saying? But I'm very passionate about this subject. And I wanted a lot of people to hear it. That's why I didn't want to riddle it with curse words or be all super animated, because I wanted kids to hear it. I wanted adults to hear it. I wanted old ladies and old men and people, anybody who thought there was something wrong with them, to be able to listen to this and not be offended, you know what I'm saying, or not be disgusted or disrespected. I want people to gain from this, because I do think the more people who gain from this, or the more people who just get the lesson, wherever they get it from, who just understand this perspective, or just that everybody's going through something, or that everybody has a problem, and that not all these problems can be seen but we're all dealing with damn near the same level of shit. If everybody just realizes that, we might be a little more compassionate with each other. We might be a little more understanding with each other. We might learn to love each other and love what needs or what deserves to be loved about each other instead of dismissing that. But yeah, that's all I want from all of y'all, man. And it's only going to help you create and live your definition of success faster, better, in a more efficient way. Because, like I said, these are mindsets. And that's all we talk about here for the most part. We talk about a lot of application, a lot of tactics, but it's a lot of mindset. Because if your mind ain't in the right place, it's hard to get anything else to work. It's hard to win at shit. It's hard to win that shit when your mind ain't in the right place. I know, because sometimes my mind ain't in the right place. And what brings me back is appreciation. I have to appreciate myself. I have to love myself. I have to realize and remember all the things that are right and good about me. Every piece of potential I have. Every piece of opportunity that I can still create. Everybody that I can still have. I have to remember things that I don't have. Because if I don't have nothing, I have to look at the shit that I can still do, because that might be all we're left with. We might get left with absolutely nothing, but we still have to look at what we have. And what we have is potential, opportunity. And I still want everybody to understand what they are, their value, and never lose sight of that. And above all else, you got to love yourself. All right, I love y'all. I'm going to let y'all go. Remember, lifeofaboss.net. Hit us up. Follow me, like, share, subscribe, and please leave a review. All right, love y'all. Peace.